Hidden city on the moon. Ultra-real 3D expedition. Approaching the ridge, keep 2-meter spacing and visual on the glow. Blue emission confirmed from subsurface panels marking approach vector. Comms check short bursts only. Maintain instant cut on my call. Scale logged ridge span 120 meters, glow band 5 meters wide. Fractured airlock located, stress crazing and surface frost present. Bringing you left, calibrating wrist module for breach profile. Suit cams live, deploying shoulder drone on quiet spin. Breach cross section captured, advance on my mark, single step. Vestibule narrow, crystalline filaments exposed along bowed panels. Drone set at 1.2 meters, hold steady on axis. 150 degrees Celsius. Thermal gradient flat. Proceed with caution. First pass logged, advance 2 meters. Maintain scan cadence. Corridor opens, holographic grid mapping along cracked plates. Antenna coil steady, spectral rise approaching peak. Hold position, energy spike here. 7.3 MHz. Visor reflections aligned, calibration lattice up. Align sensors and log coordinates marking longitudinal reference now. Reference locked, recording axis drift under 0.05. Calibration complete, maintain alignment for subsequent passes. Moonside mystery. Aurora and Mateo study icy fissures. Aurora's boots press dust. Blue light glints off floor scratches. Mateo monitors microseismic graph. Aurora signals to move forward. Warning icon, red ceiling strut starting to fail, stay clear. Ceiling strut snapped, falling debris ahead, move to safety. Drone up, tracking debris. Corridor blocked by folded plates. Deploying stabilizer, floor and wall clamps secured. Dust settling. Scanning microfractures, cracks measured in millimeters, readings stable. Fracture vectors logged, stabilizers holding. Corridor remains blocked. Scanner sweep complete. Coordinates recorded, structure stable. Holographic glyphs stabilize at 2.1 meters, marking plane. Glyph clusters hover at 2.1 meters. Laser measurement active. Frost lines and micro scratches noted. Glyph clusters stabilized at 2.1 meters, laser measurement complete. Mapping past activity. Maintaining 1.5 meter offset, laser active. Radiation baseline stable. Dosimeter reads near zero. Debris stability at 87%. Scanning each stress point along the plates for microfractures. Holographic stress map active. Key joints labeled, safety margins checked, dust settling in the corridor. Debris secured, readings confirmed at 87% integrity, coordinates logged, corridor stable. Routing around obstruction, service spur holds, proceed single file. Mind the conduit bow, maintain 30 cm clearance as we pass. Blue glow intensifying, recording luminosity delta and panel stress tags. Service spur stable, pressure seams intact, advancing 2 meters to junction. Single file confirmed, spur bypass achieved, rejoining main axis ahead. Look at these conduits, subsurface channels are alive. Marking edge offset, hold position while I capture reflectivity curves. Recording pulse cadence, note violet bands leading by half a phase. Edge stable platform. Hairline active. Maintain spacing and continue scan, capturing final pass, locking conduit vectors to the map lattice. Handheld reads 9.8 Gauss, localized anomaly confirmed. Anomaly bounded, logging coordinates and seam vector orientation. Field intensity stable, sampling vector drift for 30 seconds. Drift negligible, adding anomaly to master map for follow-up route. Anomaly recorded, maintain caution around the seam, continue survey. Load redistribute, maintain 2 meter spacing. Brace engaged, stress dropping, keep your center low and steady. Drone projecting stress heat map, avoid orange bands along the seam. Stability improving, resume scan at half pace, no sudden shifts. Path clear, continue on the marked vector, maintain 2 meter spacing. Cadence matches the spike glyph's phase with 7.3 MHz. Locking symbol plane at 2.1 meters beginning vector capture. Phase stable variance under 0.05 across symbol clusters. Exporting linguistic fragments routing to city map annotations. Glyph set captured proceed to integrate cadence into route priorities. 2 drones launch, we weave a lattice of pastel beams across the chamber. LiDAR mesh locking resolution at 5 mm. Maintain altitude at 2.1 meters, aligned to stabilized glyph plane. Drones stable. Drift under 0.05 begin volumetric sweep. Mesh complete documenting chamber wireframe and buried corridor vectors. Thermal overlay shows deep cold, filaments trace warmer conduits at junctions. Ambient still -150 heat traces only along conduits. Flagging junctions for follow-up marking priority nodes alpha through delta. Record filament continuity routing along primary conduit spine. Thermal threading logged proceed to harmonic verification. Harmonic drift emerges, panels shimmer at the chamber's edge. Harmonic drift detected holding monitors at 7.3 MHz. Maintain positions. Observe panel response without additional excitation. Anomaly steady logging drift and panel phase without overlap. Suspense acknowledged resuming sweep when stable. Beacon trail active vectoring to central control signature. Maintain single file spacing 2 meters between markers. Dust cascade observed documenting particle size and reflectance. Curve confirmed ramp vectors aligned to nexus corridor. Beacon trail locked proceeding to vestibule threshold. Minimal radiation, Atmos sealed systems responding to proximity. Surface frost clearing wipe establishes contact and conductivity. Consoles waking establish low power handshake and log status. Noted maintain focus, document each response in sequence. Vestibule stable proceed to bootstrap routine on the emitter. Signal handshake acquired initiating safe bootstrap. Handshake stable run low power routine and hold thresholds. Aurora, anchor mapping cradle routing telemetry to archive. Probe seated, current limited, confirm safe bootstrap path. Execute safe bootstrap telemetry live on local buffer. Mapping complete coordinates logged. Register terrace elevations, log domes and transit spines. Aurora, verify dome centroids push to archive buffer. Mesh density holds export path A through D. Coordinates locked map integrity verified at current scale. Environment stable for further inspection. Proceed at controlled pace. Seal integrity nominal. Vents closed, no ionizing activity detected. Aurora, cross-check logs sync to mapping archive. Proceed single file maintain measured pace and spacing. Field density low, no ionizing activity detected. Maintain offset, do not disrupt the suspended streams. Mateo, log phase cadence match to 7.3 MHz. Archive pass complete columns unaffected by proximity. Unexpected reactivation logging phase alignment at 2.1 meters. Hold still capture amplitude and plane stability now. Aurora, confirm plane lock glyphs remain synchronized. Phase alignment logged maintain spacing and continue capture. Glyph plane holds at 2.1 meters beginning confirmation sweep. Running second pass vectoring strokes for phase consistency. Overlaying time-stamped vectors variance under 0.05 expected. Cadence aligned with 7.3 MHz hold lock. Glyph stability confirmed variance under 0.05. Initiating long exposure sweep expanding depth layers. Terraces and transit spines, emerging marking primary corridors. Reactor caverns visible sublevel tiers, locking. Sublevel corridors traced routes A through D locked. City lattice sustained commencing synchronized final log. Acknowledged continuity maintained across all channels. Fear noted, curiosity dominant logging emotional state. Continuity maintained proceeding to controlled exploration phase. Marking safe egress line route to ramp confirmed. Securing stabilizers retracting mapping cables now. Tone steady at 7.3 MHz ambient -150. Systems nominal no dialog overlap, transitioning now. Back at the core console archiving the session data. Tagging anomaly markers 9.8 Gauss flagged. Session complete mapping archived, coordinates secured.